Started writing fiction, but now I work to research facts.
Ever since I was young, fourth grade to be exact, was when I started my days as a journalist.
I chose to be a journalist because I believe that one beautiful thing about journalism is that it will never die.
I always thought that being a journalist back then at our school was just about writing, joining competitions, and making my teachers proud.
I became a journalist because people said I'm a good writer. I remain a journalist because I have to be a good writer in order to serve the Filipino people the way they deserve to be served.
For the world will never run out of ideas and stories that we can write about.
As I started to grow up, I was enlightened that being a journalist was so much more than that.
And all the articles and stories that we write, be it an inspiring, a beautiful, or an uncomfortable one, it will forever live.
It holds a greater responsibility that any of us can ever imagine. One of those responsibilities is to continue the beginnings of our heroes who sacrificed a lot back then just for us to enjoy what we have now.
Not every journalist writes with the masses in mind, but heroes certainly do. I'm no hero myself, but I do plan on continuing to be a journalist by following in their footsteps.
Just like the works of the heroes we know today who fought and sacrificed their lives for the sovereignty and independence of our country.
Their voices were silenced and blood arose from lands. However, right now, it is different.
The killing of journalists and media professionals have become so normalized here in the Philippines that our country was ranked 138 out of 180 countries in terms of the World Press Freedom Index in 2021.
We, as journalists, must continue their duties and our duties by making our voices heard for the people.
Not enough people are talking about the 22 journalists who were murdered from 2016 to 2021 for simply telling the people the truth.
I may not have been born to be an artist or a good writer just like them, but using the freedom they have given me in doing and supporting the causes they fought for is one of the reasons why I chose to be a journalist.
As citizens of our country, we must learn to ignite the interest regarding the truth and expressing our opinions because they are for the betterment of our society.
Propaganda and fake news have become so apparently widespread that we discredit those who truly dedicate themselves in protecting the truth.
Furthermore, I believe that the higher principle of being a journalist is more than just being able to write beautiful stories and articles, but rather the journalist's commitment to immerse with the masses, to further people's interest, to seek and speak the truth, and to defend press freedom.
To advance people's interest in delivering the truth and debunking lies, especially with the nearing elections this May.
Let us not let the journalists who were murdered to die in vain. Let us not let those who seek to weaponize fake news come home triumphant. Let us not let the Filipino people be deceived and ridiculed. We have to stand for peace, justice, and freedom. And we start with truthful, transparent, and free press media.
The greatest responsibility is defending press freedom. Over the course of the ongoing pandemic, there are dozens of news stating that farmers, journalists, and lawyers are killed for their opinions about human rights. Countless are made victims because of this, and it needs to end now.
Because the world may never run out of ideas to tell, but without press freedom and with the journalists on the grave, these stories are nothing but unspoken ideas in the dark.
Because this will serve as our voice. This will deliver the truth and debunk lies. But most of all, this will make our voices heard as the Filipinos.
I am a journalist not because I choose to, but because I have to be, for the people that I love, for the people who need me to be one, and for the country I believe in.